6+ years after its release, the Nintendo Switch continues to shine with a diverse collection of quality games. With so many games to choose from, you might be wondering which of these games stand out among the pack. In this video, we'll guide you through the best 10 games the platform has to offer, along with why they deserve a place in your collection. While not every worthwhile Switch game could make it to the list, stay with us till the end for some well-deserved honorable mentions that narrowly missed the cut. So without further ado, let's dive in. At number 10, we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Despite being a port that released just a month after the Switch hit the shelves, it's a fantastic game that holds up well to this day. This game doesn't reinvent the wheel, it sticks to the beloved Mario Kart formula that's been winning us over for ages. It never gets old to get together with your friends, compete for a cup, and shoot shells to ruin their race. When it comes to visuals, this game delivers. The colors pop and runs at a smooth 1080p. The upgrades over the original are notable. The battle mode has been revamped, there are more cars and characters to choose from, and Nintendo even brought back some retro courses. Had it not been a game originally released on Wii U, it may have been higher up on the list. Don't be fooled, it's still one of the top 10 games available on the Switch. At our number 9 spot, we've got Pokemon Legends Arceus. This game is a breath of fresh air, offering a completely different perspective on the Pokemon universe. Imagine a vast open world where you can toss a Pokeball at wild Pokemon without sifting through menus. This game also expands on how the player can interact with Pokemon. Players can work together with their Mons to travel through the world and progress through the game. It was created by Game Freak, the developers behind the mainline series, which includes the original Pokemon Red and Blue games. That's a strong indicator that this might be the future direction of the mainline franchise, and that's exciting news for Pokemon fans. Bonus points to this game for daring to do something different and igniting the spark of curiosity in fans. If you're a fan of Pokemon, this is one definitely worth your time, and deserves a place in your Nintendo Switch collection. Now, on to number 8. Fire Emblem Three Houses is a unique blend of school life simulation and strategy in the iconic Fire Emblem franchise. This game has often been compared to Harry Potter primarily because of the houses concept within the game. Once you've selected your house, you step into the shoes of a professor and your journey within the academy begins. While a big chunk of gameplay revolves around your day-to-day life at the academy, planning lessons, interacting with students, and teaching classes, most of these can be automated if you prefer. Now, it might not sound like the most thrilling premise, but the payoff comes from building bonds with your students, which leads to them performing better during the turn-based strategy battles. There's a genuine sense of satisfaction in taking a student out for lunch and witnessing the positive impact of the bond materialize on the battlefield. You will be spending a substantial amount of your time outside of battles, which may not appeal to everyone. But make no mistake, this game is a standout addition to the Fire Emblem franchise and one of the best games the Switch has to offer. Coming in at number 7, Metroid Dread, the latest installment in the 2D line of games for the Metroid franchise. Just like how Nintendo keeps the 2D Mario game fresh, they've shown the same level of love and innovation for 2D Metroid. This game serves as a long overdue sequel to the Game Boy Advance classic, Metroid Fusion, which released back in 2002. It picks up the story right where Fusion left off and does a good job of catching you up in case you didn't quite remember the details from 2 decades ago. The game handles smoothly with a great frame rate and responsive controls. Whether you're jumping, sliding, or simply traversing the game world, it all feels satisfyingly tight and reliable throughout the game. The maps in this game are huge. You're all but guaranteed to get lost. The parry mechanic in this game, which was first introduced in Metroid Samus Returns, was well received by fans and adds a layer of strategy to the game. With great attention to detail in the visuals and epic boss battles, this game has earned a well-deserved spot as one of the best games to play on the Switch.
What are these things?
Moving on to number 6, we have Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the sequel to the Nintendo Switch's Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Here's the good news, you don't have to have played the second one to dive into part 3. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 spins its own self-contained story. although it does make references to its predecessor. The story is engaging and is complemented by a cast of memorable characters. The characters show their emotion, they have their own feelings and opinions that shift with the ever-evolving situation, making you feel a genuine connection to their journey. The gameplay mechanics for your battle party come with a host of unique features, such as fusing your characters together into a larger creature, the Ouroboros, which can help to deal more damage. You can activate the chain attack feature in battle to strategically chain arts together with your party members, unlocking damage multipliers and getting rewarded when you finish encounters with a chain attack. This is a well-rounded game that not only delivers on gameplay but also has a quality soundtrack and a story that delivers. This JRPG in the Xenoblade series is holding its own as one of the best games on the platform. Moving on to number 5, we have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the Nintendo Switch's launch title that brought Link's adventure into the next generation of gaming. Despite being a somewhat marginal graphics upgrade from the Wii U version, this game still manages to deliver a visually stunning experience. Nintendo, in its classic fashion, continued to innovate and build upon the 3D Zelda formula that started with Ocarina of Time. Critics couldn't help but shower the game with perfect scores, and it's not just one of the best on the Switch, it's widely considered one of the greatest games of all time. Breath of the Wild offers a huge open world to explore, and the enjoyment of jumping off of high peaks and gliding over the landscape never gets old. Besides the core game, there are loads of side quests to keep you busy for hours on end. This game would have been ranked higher had it not been for the significant upgrades to the sequel. Breath of the Wild remains a masterpiece and a must-play on the Nintendo Switch. And now on to number 4, the latest addition to the 2D Mario family, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It is refreshing to see Nintendo's commitment to the 2D Mario games, the very roots from which this iconic franchise grew. The developers created the system for the game from scratch, ensuring this 2D entry didn't feel like just another version of the new Super Mario Bros. U. The game brings back its tried and true 2D Mario formula, with everything from runs to jumps to the new abilities all coming together to create an instant classic. The elephant form is a true standout. The disappointment of losing the elephant power-up was hard to ignore. The Wonder Effect, which is where the game gets its name, is the core innovative feature that transforms the entire stage or the characters themselves. Nintendo's carefully crafted these effects, making sure they seamlessly blend into nearly every level you play. Super Mario Bros. Wonder has already earned its place among the best games on the Nintendo Switch. You don't want to miss it. Making our way to the top 3, we find ourselves in the grand arena of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This title takes the legacy of the Smash franchise to new heights. This game features all 74 characters from previous Smash games, with a total of 86 when you include DLC. The gameplay here lives up to the high quality standards that Smash games are renowned for, and does a great job of balancing the enormous character cast. Much like its predecessor, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a tribute to the rich history of video games. The move sets of the characters remain faithful to their respective games. The stages shine with details and life, and the nostalgic variety of the soundtrack is a nice touch. While the online multiplayer could benefit from a bit more responsiveness and stability, it can still be fun. For those with a competitive edge, there's an enticing prospect of making your way into the exclusive Elite Smash Club. If you're a fan of Smash and own a Switch, don't skip out on this masterpiece. Rounding out the top 2, we have Super Mario Odyssey. While Mario has been a 3D superstar since his Nintendo 64 debut in 1996, it's great to see he hasn't lost a step in over 25 years. In the world of Mario, each game is known for introducing a distinct and memorable feature. Super Mario Sunshine brought us the innovative FLUDD game mechanic, which changed the core gameplay in new and exciting ways. Super Mario Odyssey's standout feature is Cappy, Mario's partner that lets him take control of enemies and objects. If taking over and controlling a T-Rex isn't enough, you can also take over Bullet Bills, Goombas, Cheep Cheeps, and more. The game's new worlds, including the city-themed world, bring an innovative yet familiar touch to the game. Super Mario Odyssey is not only one of the best games on the Switch, it's among one of the best in the Mario series. Don't sleep on this game. And now we've reached the top spot. At number 1, it's The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This game revives and enhances everything we love about Breath of the Wild, including garnering widespread acclaim, earning 10s across the board. One of the standout improvements here is the story. Tears of the Kingdom treats us to more dialogue and cutscenes compared to previous titles, adding depth to the narrative. The open world is even more expansive, and the Ultra Hand ability injects a new level of creativity into the gameplay. It lets you grab and manipulate almost anything in the game world, offering endless possibilities for creative solutions and combinations. Gamers quickly discovered some game-breaking uses for this ability, showcasing the depth of this feature. If we had to nitpick, the game doesn't run at 60 frames per second, but it still runs smoothly. Tears of the Kingdom easily surpasses the high bar set by Breath of the Wild, cementing its status as the best game to play on the Nintendo Switch. Not every deserving Switch game made it to our top 10. There were several which came incredibly close. Here are some honorable mentions that were just shy of making the final cut. Splatoon 3 takes what was great in the multiplayer experience from Splatoon 2 and makes notable improvements. The single-player campaign missions offer a refreshing experience, accompanied by a range of new abilities and weapons. Splatoon 3 offers a fantastic experience for both solo and multiplayer gaming. If you're a fan of previous Splatoon games or into third-person shooters, this one is a top pick on the Switch. A decade after its predecessor, Pikmin 4 is a welcome upgrade that builds on the beloved Pikmin formula. It introduces 2 new types of Pikmin, has plenty of exciting enemy battles, and callbacks to the previous games in the franchise. For fans who patiently waited a decade for this sequel, it's a must-have title deserving of an honorable mention. While the Animal Crossing series might not appeal to everyone, there's no denying the charm of these games. Animal Crossing New Horizons doesn't disappoint, as it delivers a polished next-gen experience in this classic franchise. The ability to create your own custom islands or exploring custom islands created by the community adds another layer of endless possibilities. If you're a fan of the original or simulation games, this one is worth adding to your collection. Metroid Prime Remastered revitalizes the classic GameCube adventure with modernized controls and updated graphics. Even though it's a remastered version of the GameCube classic, the game still delivers a grand adventure filled with challenging boss fights with multiple forms, which are satisfying to beat. If you missed it the first time around, this game is still a masterpiece 20 plus years later, and one of the best games you can find on the Switch. Originally a Wii U title, Super Mario 3D World still stands as one of the best on the platform. Plus, with the addition of the experimental side story Bowser's Fury, it gets even better. The supersized boss battles in Bowser's Fury are a welcome bonus. Whether you missed the original or simply want a fantastic co-op platformer, this game is certainly worth considering. And there you have it, our rundown of the top 10 games for the Nintendo Switch through 2023, along with the games deserving of an honorable mention. Did we overlook a title you think should have made the list? Do you believe a game is ranked differently than it should be? Drop a comment and let us know. That's it for now. Until next time.